What's going on, guys? It's Cimoooooooo, and who are we with today?
Mike Wisniewski.
All right, and what did you do?
Day 2 and bubbled out with Paleo.
So why did you decide to play Paleo for this event?
I mean, I usually play Paleo. I think it's the best choice. Just like I tested everything else, I just ended up coming back to this. I took third at a YCS with it, so I'm gonna win one.
Gotta get one under Paleo's belt.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go and see what you got.
Alrighty. So first off, I played 3 swap, 3 dupe, 2 Ronins, standard. There's really nothing to say about the frogs, they're amazing. I bumped this up to 3, I usually play 2. I never drew 2 of it, so it was amazing. This is like the best card in the deck. Trap Trick's the best card in this deck, so I just wanted to max on that. Yeah, this card was insane all weekend. I like that it sets like Duster and all that as well.
The versatility it has is crazy.
Yeah, it's just so good in this deck. Outside of that, I played 3 Ash Blossom. This is kind of interesting because this deck doesn't usually play hand traps. Theory with Ash Blossom was sometimes it will stop my opponent going second. I found out that ashing solar is like a lot better than like anything else that you can ash. Like a lot of the times they really do just stop. And this is the only one that I was willing to draw going first. I have a lot of cards that do similar things to Valor, but this is like unique, stopping like the Orcus things in graveyard going first. And a lot of the times it can like 2 for 1 against Salad, so I really like this. I played Upstart Goblin. I only drew it once and I drew swap off of it, so that was cool.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's just 39 cards. Played the 3 Trap Trick. This is absolutely the best card in the deck because it's just every other card. So yeah, there's really not much to say about this. This is the best card in the deck. Turned this deck like so much better. Like definitely playable on a competitive scene with that card. I played 3 Dino. The reason you max on this is so that like if you would want to draw 2 of them if anything, so that you could just send the other one from your hand and then you have 2 Paleos in the graveyard. So yeah, that's why I maxed on this. Also trap tricking it and outing anything is just insane. So this card was really good.
Yeah, it's like Salamangreat was teching it. It's like, why not just play the native deck for it?
Right. This is awful against Striker, but it's like the best one going first. Yeah, this card's really good. Like I would not cut it to anything less, especially because I already cut down like the Paleo count from what is like usually played. So I would definitely max on this.
Why'd you cut it down?
I cut the Paleo ratio. I didn't play Morella.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Everybody plays it, but it's just a brick. So like the theory was that like 95% of the time you don't actually need Morella in your deck. Like you only need it if your hand's like really bad and you open like double Trap Trick. Maybe you're able to like Trap Trick it at the end phase. But if I didn't open a hand that established Toad, it was just 4 to 5 interruptions. And like trap interruptions like count for like multiple combo pieces usually if you're playing the right trap card. So I could usually just like trade and get ahead anyways and then just like draw into the Toad establishment. So I went with not playing the Morella.
That makes sense.
I did play the Illinoids. This one's really good. It's just MST. Super generic. I really liked it. Wish I could play more of it. I played this card. I never drew it against Striker, but it's so good in that matchup. It's also just really good. Like 95% of the time, the Orcus deck's gonna make Phoenix first and discard for cost. And at that point, a lot of the times it ate their normal summon and took a card out of their hand. And so it's like a 3 for 1. It's so good. It also stops like grave effects, even like weird stuff. Like it stopped like Phantasmes when I'm making Bolt Sword for game. This card's just really, really, really good. I really liked it. I played the 3 Imperm as a hand trap. The column thing actually came up and negated Twister once, which is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
It was good. It never got called by the grave, so it was better than the other ones in that aspect. And I would definitely continue playing it being a hand trap. So it was really good. This is interesting.
Yes, here we go.
I've been testing this for a while. Kind of sucked that the guy that that won the Euro event was playing it, because then everybody kind of like jumped on the train of it. But this is like similar to the Strike, where like if they target it with the Phoenix, like still a 3 for 1. It's just so good. Like it makes everything so awkward. Like this card's just incredible. Even being able to end phase it with like when you're playing border control, I side Inspector border. This card's like really good for that to like get in the damage. So I really, really, really like this card. I would definitely max out on it. This was a little interesting. I usually play 3. I tested 2, but I was definitely glad I played the third because I played Draco in the Mind deck and two of them both. This card is just really good being able to set on Trap Trick, and if you rip one against like anything playing back row, it's just game. I also wanted to play the third copy for the Trickster Field Spell. The Trickster Field Spell is just so oppressive in this deck. It lets you not be able to top deck in the scenario that I explained where you don't open Toad. Like, you have to address the Field Spell, you definitely are going to lose. So this is really good. I would definitely play it again. And Imperial Order.
Because it's Imperial Order.
Yeah, it's like a free win when you draw it. I drew it twice and I won both times, so.
Did its job.
Yeah, card was great.
Extra side, whichever.
I'll do the side. So I sided 3 Inspector Border. This card's insane. I can't even remember a time at any event where I've drawn this card and lost. It's just too strong. It's floodgatey, but yeah, it's a free win, so might as well play it. Like, the Paleo traps synergize with them really, really well, because like the only thing that can out this is Pankratops, but you have Strike, Canadia, Dino, Trap Trick. Like, Compulse in theory can get you like at least ahead enough.
Yeah, you got so much defense.
Yeah, this was really, really good. Then I played, actually played 2 of this, but I wished I would have played 3. The third thing I played was, this was a Judgment, but honestly I wished I would have played a third Mistaken Arrest. This deck doesn't really search, like, you would have to set a dupe frog, but you wouldn't set a dupe frog if you had this, you would just hold it and establish Toad that way. And you only like search with Opabinia, but I'm not going to make Opabinia if I'm under Mistaken Arrest. The nice thing with this card is it doesn't lose to like Red Reboot, Twin Twister, Evenly Matched. You can just chain it right to, and like it's just like guaranteed to trade. And then by the time I establish a Toad and go back to my opponent's turn, I could search off dupe again, which is amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It was great. Then I played this is kind of standard. That's Evenly Matched. The reason I like this a lot is because Salad always gets greedy and they set the Rage instead of the Roar to pop back row, and then you're just like, here's 4 or 5 for 1. It happened my opponent, I impermed his Gazelle. He had the Field Spell, a Baylynx, and 4 back row, and yeah, it just blew him out so hard with Evenly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's disgusting.
This card was really good. Also, the Orcus deck, a lot of the times against Paleo, wants to still game 2, set the Babble, instead of the counter trap, because they can Twister at the end phase, the same with the Send and the Pop with Ready, so they get greedy as well and then get blown out. This is like probably the second best card in the side deck after Border. It was really good when he wasn't getting called by the Grave. It's nice if another hand trap can like interact first, they called, and then you chain this, but this is like incredible against Orcus and Thunder. I also like it going first because it can like, you can, if they reboot you, you can activate this, and like then they just like let you set a trap for free. They can't do any of their combo, and you just win. So it's really, really nice for going first as well. Also, it stops Evenly Matched going first casually. So that's
a big problem for your deck. So.
Yeah, I like that. And the last card I played was 3 Effect Valor. I liked No Materials Effect better, but I needed at least 6 cards deciding against Striker because Compulse and Canadia are unusable. So like I needed the other 3, and also going first, this helps you play past reboot if they reboot you, and if they Denko you, this outs Denko. So I thought this was like a good choice for the last thing in the extra deck. I was glad I played it.
Were you happy? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good card. I never outed a Denko, unfortunately, but I wish it would have.
Theoretically.
Yeah. And then I played 3 Toad, best boss monster ever created in my opinion. So good. Usually when he hits the field, it's just like you win for free. So yeah, this is great. I played 1 of both of these guys. You definitely do not need more than 1. I played 2 of this for a long time, but it just doesn't come up. Like, you're usually just making Toad and then Bolt Sword in game. So I didn't need more than that. I played 1 of their XYZ. That was Sky Cavalry. I never made it. The reason I played this is because if I'm playing something big and untargetable, then like that is literally the only out. Like, this deck really has hard times with like big untargetable decks, and the extra deck space was like there was a lot of it, so I decided to include this in case I ran into any of that, because I thought the decks, like, matchups outside of that were really great. And then this is actually really interesting, I think. I played 1 with Starboy. I'm not sure why people play more than this. Like, I played more of it before there was Bortle Sword, but if you can make double Mr. Boy Toad for 8,000, you can just make Bortle Sword. Toad. So like this is really just a bridge link, and like you play so many other link 2s that if you absolutely feel like the Mystard one might come out, just like bridge with something else before you make it.
Sure.
I wouldn't make just this with a Toad unless like the game state like called for it. Like usually I would just wait for a Toad until I can make something bigger and go for a game, because like once you run out of the frog resources, they're gone. So I played there's a Keswick Magician. If people miss zone, and like if you can game, it doesn't matter about like the Salad sending their things back to to hand. So you could summon it to the Wolf zone, send them back. Then I also played Security Dragon, so you can make Security Dragon up top and then send like the other thing that they control, usually the Stalio, back. So it was really good. I think I summoned this once. I never actually made this. The initial reason I made this is because Paleo has a hard time. If you just put out like 3 or 4 defense position monsters, you can't get over them. And like sometimes people catch on to that. But if you make this up top and then you make Cerberus underneath, you draw off the Cerberus and like they can't destroy it even if they had a negation. And then like this also can't be destroyed, and you get the send because he's co-linked. And then you can make Unicorn on top of it.
And draw again.
Yeah. This came up to hit a defense position Nessie, so I could go for a game with Bortle Sword. So I made that once. I made the Unicorn once when I got Geometry-O'd. That was like all I could make. Yeah, I never really made it for the effect. I played Phoenix as well. I know a lot of people like disagree with Phoenix because the deck already has so much spell and trap removal, but one thing that's really nice to be able to out with like a Paleo or a Frog and a hand trap is there can be only one. Like this deck just hard loses to it. So like a hand trap in this, like any of my regular things can out that, and then I can go off. So that's why I included that. There's that. I played Triple Burst. I never summoned it. It was for Striker. Pretty much this card adds a utility to the deck that like no other card in the extra deck did, or that was like that I could play would have added. It does piercing, it specs a link 2 back, and what's it called? The negating and the damage step is actually really good against Striker. So I like this card. I never made it, but I would still play it. I played Bortle just for big untargetable things. Actually, this came up every time I played Striker to take their guys because they just kept having Eagle Booster. So I was, or not Eagle Booster, what's it called? Enough that I couldn't Bortle Sword, negate with the Toad, and then do game, but I could just take and then just sit on Toad. So it was like, this is really good. I was happy I played it. And big untargetable things are also a problem. And then Bortle Sword is the best card, except for Toad the extra deck, because it's just so good. Like, I can't even believe this is a real card. Honestly, it's so free. Like, it lets decks like this that are just like slow OTK, which I love. I really like that.
Great.
And I think this helped the deck a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Any final words? Shout outs?
Shout out to Cimoooooooo. Everybody I tested with, friends and family, and yeah, they know who they are.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Thank you.